Are we live? We're live. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Playing the Artist, a weekly web show where we talk about trying to be artists, trying to play the artist. My name is Antoine Marchildon, and joined as always is Alex. Alex, how was your weekend?
It was good. I think it was good. I think I enjoyed myself. I got a lot of work done and saw some friends. And
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't know. What more can you ask for in a weekend? I guess.
That's money.
Yeah, I stumbled
like
upon
finding a bulk of money like
Yeah.
somewhere and just claiming it. I don't know. That sounds pretty nice. So I've been doing really well. Been working really hard. I've been studying Nick's plans for after this Kickstarter and whatnot. I'm at 74 follows on my Kickstarter page. So that's exciting. A guy reached out to me offering his services to help do models for me and then take a percentage of the Kickstarter. I was like, oh, geez, people are wanting to work with me. So on my campaign.
He wants to put his models in your campaign and then get paid for that, like for take a cut of the modeling or
take a cut of the
funds,
the campaign.
Oh wow, that's pretty. Yeah, that says a lot. I mean, people are noticing it. Definitely don't do that.
Yeah.
But
no, yeah. That will the thing is like, well, how many models are you gonna make for me, right? And how big's your cut? It's like, I'm gonna make you 2 models. And it's like, well, how big is that cut, brother?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's reasonable. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like because he talked about he's worked on other projects, like big projects. So the guy must have some chops, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but think about how long does it take you to model 2 models? You probably do that in a few days.
I was just an example, but I'm sure he models a lot more than 2 models.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The reason I'm digging into it is because I've had this happen to me as well, where somebody kind of you chat with somebody about your project and it almost becomes collaborative, and it's like I'm just kind of chatting about this. I really have no money to pay anyone anything, right?
Yeah.
It comes to that. And then you hear, oh, it's okay, I'll just take 1 or 2% later or something like that if we do this. And I'm like,
Jesus, man, I'm already making contracts.
It's like, well, still, even 1 or 2% or whatever it is on the back end is man, this is something I've spent a year of my life on.
Yeah, and then also Kickstarter. If it's a Kickstarter campaign, Kickstarter takes, they take 5%, right?
Yeah.
And then taxes come in, right? That's another 33%.
Yeah.
So it's pretty brutal. You know what I mean? And that's another 2% on top. It's like, damn, dude, you're almost 50% income is gone now.
Well, I'm just 2% sounds like nothing, and I think it sounds really small. But if you took 2% of your time, I think you'd be surprised on how much time that actually is.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway,
but it depends. Depends your scope, right?
Sure.
Let's say you're I want to make a big thing, but I'm running out of time because I want to get it done this year. So you hire extra help, right? And you're like, okay, I'll give you a percentage of whatever. And if this guy's down with it, you would hopefully he'll push the campaign and all that stuff too. And anyways, I was looking at Patreon stuff. I just sent you in a private chat. I sent you a. Oh, by the way, this is only a 30-minute long episode, special quick episode.
Yeah.
And anyways,
I
found this.
That's nobody's watching anyways. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. No one's watching anyways.
You know what? I think I realized that I'm putting the hashtag, since we moved to StreamYard, the hashtags, they're not in the hashtag field. They're not. They don't get fed into there. So okay. I'm not. I think I need to go back and retag pretty much every StreamYard video.
That's. We could talk about. You could have told me that when we're not on air.
Oh, that's no fun. Anyway,
anyways,
do you want me to share this thing?
Sure, if you want. Anyways, it's called the Artists Guild.
The Artisans
The
Guild.
Artisans Guild. Sorry, and they make amazing. I'm pretty sure it's 2 people. I think it's a couple. I think it's a girl and a guy. They make these amazing character models, and they just recently did a campaign where it was just like all hot Amazon babes, you know.
Yeah.
And no, go back up. You're missing the good stuff. Okay, so I want you to look how many patrons they have. They have a lot of patrons.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yes, their Instagram has like less than 2,000 people. Their Thingiverse has less than 2,000 people, but they got 4,000 patrons. I thought that was really interesting. And I want you to look at the tiers. I want you to. You see something interesting?
There's 2 tiers basically, with one undercut kind of tier.
What does it
Limited
say?
number of merchants.
Yeah. No, the other one. Far left.
I can't see what you're pointing at, so why don't you just say
left.
what you're trying to say? This one?
Yeah. What does it say?
It says Adventurer First 100, $9 per month.
Right.
Yeah.
And why I think that's super interesting is it's just $1 less. So what they're doing is they're like, hey, if we can get the word out, and if we just like eat the cost of like $1 less from each patron, the word will spread on our Patreon page, right? Just think about
basically every patron has this.
Every patron? No, not
Pretty
every
much.
patron. No.
Pretty much, dude. This has been a while since I've seen one that doesn't do this, and a lot of times they'll undercut this one as well.
That one is. If you go show more, there's another merchant one. No.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's great. You know, I think you sit like if you think like every time I've been to a Patreon that has like it is like I guess a regular, you know, actually is like working. I don't know how else to say that. These are always full. These limited slots where it's like okay, first X number, they're always full. And so what I would think is like, you know, what's your like base minimum you need to like float this thing, you know, set that up here, and because it's a pretty good bet, I think, that if you do your due diligence and you put the time in, these things are going to fill up. These are a good deal.
But it's not just that though. It's not the fact that they're just making sure that they're full or whatnot. It's the fact that those will get full very quick.
Yeah.
Because, you know, one person that 3D prints, they have probably 2 friends that 3D print, right? So one person gets the tier for $1 less, and they're like, hey, this person does great models. You should go check him out. You can get his basic tier for $1 less, right? And then you know, and then those people talk to other people, and those people talk to other people. You know what I mean? So if you get like 5 people to join on the $8, those 5 people are going to tell 3 people, and then those 3 people are going to tell another 3 and another 3, and then it's just an exponential like reverse pyramid. It just like spreads out that way. You know what I mean? Like bird shot, like from a shotgun. It goes, you know.
It's interesting that they don't have a $1 level, like a thank you. You know, maybe you don't even. Maybe that's not even necessary, right? Like,
well, I was thinking that too, and I was like, yeah, that's not very necessary because you're not gonna. The dollar thing is like doesn't really, you know, it's just like it's $1. But if someone can justify, they're like, hey, I'm actually gonna spend $10 on this person instead. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I was thinking of this one thing that would be really interesting for a patron. So those tiers. He also does YouTube videos that are really nice. He just does speed sculpts. They're really cool. Okay, quit staring at that. Shut that down because you're just gonna stare at it all day.
Well, there's something I want to find because I've been following these guys for a while.
All right.
And I remember, you know, I was watching the Zbrush Awards, and Zbrush is like the sculpting software that most of us use. And there was like this, you know, 3D Print of the Year award, and some model.
Was it these guys?
No, and it's a shame because I tell you, man, the I think it was released a really long time ago because I'm not finding it, but there was this one ogre or orc model that was like very World of Warcraft inspired and had a really awesome pose.
Well, you should go to his Instagram instead of this page because you're not able to see anything.
Yeah, I thought it might be highlighted a little bit sooner. Anyway, I'm going to close this.
Yeah, but
maybe I'll bring it up in a second.
I thought what would be kind of interesting, just to like kind of be, I don't know, kind of funny in a weird way and interesting, is to have a. What are you staring at?
My other screen. I have two of them.
Well, I can hear you scrolling. You're not paying attention.
Go on. I'm paying attention.
No, you're not. You're looking at your screen.
Go on.
You're a bastard right now.
I can hear you in my head.
Yeah, I know, but you won't listen to my. Oh, okay. Anyways, I was thinking it'd be really neat. I don't even want to talk because you're not even listening.
I'm telling you, I'm listening. You think something's neat. You think something's going to be neat.
I think it would be really interesting to have a dollar tier where it's just one of one. Or it's just
one of one.
One of one. So it's only one person can have it for $1, and you would call it. No, listen. Hear me out. And you would call it blind luck, and you put a little description like you're the luckiest person in the world. You just ran into the mother lode, or like just a little goofy little text, and it's just like this like thank you to like the first person that backs you, and that is like the equivalent of a $10 tier, but it's a $1 tier. It's one of one. And I thought that'd be really interesting because just to have that out there, and then when people visit your page and they see that, they're like, oh, look at this interesting like I don't know, just this interesting narrative like this person did, right? Of like this one lucky person or whatever. It's just something to tell a story to themselves, so that it's in their like subconscious, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but if it's not necessarily the first person, because let's say that person decides to upgrade to a real tier, then they're not in that tier anymore.
Why would they? Because they'll be getting everything from like the other tier, but for literally $1. And it's just one.
Oh, I see.
It's one.
You get everything for $1 tier.
Yeah, and it's like special first time offer, whatever, you know what I mean? And then I was like thinking like, well, what happens if you do like, okay, you have your basic tier, that's your $10 tier, and then there's your $9 tier, but you have, you know, you have like 200 slots open, right? And then you have an $8 tier that has 100 slots open, and a $7 tier that has $50 slots open.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like, you know what I mean? So it's like this kind of
that idea I like better. The cascading sort of like you're filling up this bucket.
Yeah, but all of those tiers get the same amount as the $10 tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if I eat the cost of like the 9, the 8, and the 7, that's still a good bulk chunk of money. But if you can eat all that and get the word out, right? Then more people will funnel in to the point where they get there like, oh, I'm here. I want to be a part of this. The only ones that are left are the $10 tiers. I'll do the $10 tier, right? That's
a great idea, I think.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know if it'll work, but I feel like it should.
Yeah, because the 100, I know for a fact that 100, that 100 first $9 probably filled up so fast. And like I said, like they have 4,000 patrons. Their Instagram not that big. Their YouTube less than 1,000. Thingiverse less than 2,000. Like their social media stuff. It's like it's modest. Mm-hmm. Their patron is like it's fucking killing it. You know what I mean? Like they're really doing something good. And I really think that merchant first and adventurer first, like the first 100 and the first 30 for the merchant thing, I really think like that helped push the like kind of like because I really think word to mouth is probably the strongest thing when it comes to people going to movies, listening to music, going to shows,
of course.
Checking out YouTube channels. You know what I mean? Because who else than someone I've interact with and spend time with tells me, hey, I saw this thing. I think you might like it. You should check it out. Like you're literally hearing it from the most, the best salesman ever is like your friend, and your family.
Yeah, of course.
So
my one thought with that cascading tier idea that you had is like, there might be a danger. Like, so when you go from 10 to 9, it's both basically, it feels like the 9 is a discount on the 10.
Yeah.
But if you go from like 10 to 9 to 7 to 6 to 5, and people are like you're bleeding into this area where people, while it's filling up at 5 and 6 or even 7, you almost feel like the content is worth that. And when you get up too far away, like when you get into another, you feel like, man, I'm getting a crappy deal on this stuff that a lot of people have at $5. You feel a little bit like, instead of getting something for a good deal, like, ooh, I save $1, because you feel a bit like, man, I missed out on the proper price, and now I'm paying this, like, I'm paying a penalty for showing up late. Whereas $1 really isn't much of a penalty.
That's a really good point.
It's just like, why not? But I think it's really interesting. Like, maybe where does that stop? Like, maybe you can go from 10 to 9 to 8. Maybe you can go as low as 7. I don't know.
Or maybe I could start at 12, then go down to 11, 10. 11, 10.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Maybe. I still like the $1 tier idea. I just think it's so silly just to have that out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's silly. It does a lot for one person, but doesn't do a lot for other people.
Well, that's not the point. It does in a way, because it drives a story, right? Because like if someone visits my page and they see this $1, you
could put a poop emoji in the middle of your page, and that's a story too. So it doesn't necessarily. That's not a reason enough.
That's not interesting, because if they visit my page, they get a story of the one person that got the golden goose, the one person that got the luckiest pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know but I might not tell anybody. Like, I might just look at it and say, that's interesting, and then move on.
Yeah, you talked me out of that one.
All right.
And another thing I was thinking about. So I've been thinking about this, and I remember. You remember I've been trying to make clips for tiles, like my own clip mechanism. Yeah. So you know what I'm gonna do? Well, it's not that great though. And also, it's okay, and it works fine. But people like the open lock system because there's so much stuff out there to use for the open lock tiles, like the template.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's already established, and a lot of people probably invested many print hours into it.
Yeah, or money. People buy them too.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet, get a license. It's free.
I'm telling you, dude, you don't need a license, because there's
you do.
There's open lock.
Yes.
And then there's that other fucking lock that's exactly the same, that's open source.
Which one's that one?
Gosh.
You mean OpenForge?
No.
Dragon Lock? Infinity Lock?
Infinity Lock.
Is that open source?
Yes. Use it. That's why it was made. There was Open Lock, and it was under a paywall for a long time. Then somebody made Infinity Lock, which works with Open Lock, but it's free and it's open source. And so now, if anyone else wants to lock into stuff, they just use Infinity Lock. It's the same thing. It's just like a little rounder. It's just like looks slightly different, but basically. That's true. And Infinity Lock is better because then you'll fit in with Infinity and Open, whereas I don't know that Open fits into Infinity stuff. It may, but I just don't know that for sure.
No, all has to.
And I could be fucking backwards on Open and Infinity, but so you do a little bit of research there.
No, I did do some research. The licenses are free. The only thing you need to do is put down links to every time you're showing off like the work. Like you got to get like a license, and then you get a QR code with your name, Because you'll see that in Kickstarters where they're like, oh, we use OpenLock, and then at the bottom of the Kickstarter, there's like a QR code, and then there's the name or the name of the company, and it's like their right to use their like official thing to like use that. And like in the description of the license, when you go to the Printable Scenery website, it just says you just gotta put links on like photos and stuff like that, and like put our name when you like show off our product and blah 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 and stuff like that. And also OpenLock, like every time I see people on forums, on Reddit and stuff, like even this one time when I was making the short clip and I like put out these sci-fi tiles, this guy wrote this shitty thing, but he was right. He was like, hey, you should make these OpenLocks. You should make these work with OpenLock, and then we'll support you. And it was a kind of a shitty thing to say, but it's like, well, he's right though. It makes total sense, right? And also having that name OpenLock, it's like people like see it all the time on Kickstarters. You know what I mean? And people are like, oh, cool, it's OpenLock. So, you know what I mean? It's like something to like get excited about. But anyways, I haven't seen anybody make a Kickstarter where like they have like every month they were like releasing new tiles or new walls and new things to be like connected to your dungeon tiles. You know what I mean?
A Patreon, you mean?
Yeah, I haven't seen one.
Interesting. Well, I was tempted to go search for it because I feel like it's got to be there. It's got to be out there.
Me too, right? I'm sure there's somebody out there, but I haven't seen it though yet.
I know there are people that do the 2D. There's a lot of people that make 2D maps once a month, or like a 2D kind of modular thing. Yeah. But you're right. Like a 3D wall, like dungeon.
Yeah, because imagine like those tiles don't take long to make, really. Like depending on like what size, what scale they are, and stuff like that, right? But like if I every month if I came out with 2 walls, 2 floors, a door, and like a couple corner pieces. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and then like have that little bulk done, and then focus on bigger things where it's like bigger set pieces that don't use the OpenLock system, where it's like kind of like bigger set pieces and kind of more, story driven things or whatever. It's like this little mixture of like OpenLock stuff. So like you could get you'll get new stuff every month for your OpenLock tiles. Yeah. And then you'll get big, cool, interesting stuff if you want to use it for like different terrain or whatever, you know what I mean? And I was just like, I haven't seen anything like that on Patreon. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I think that's what I'm gonna do next. Is I'm gonna do like after this Kickstarter, I think I'm going to just do aggressive like campaign where I'm just like releasing tiles, OpenLock tiles, and like releasing models like fantasy stuff, and just like for like a month and a half, right? Yeah. And then announce like, hey guys, I'm gonna do a Patreon. Yeah. Like here's and if you sign up, you get this little bundle of stuff, right? That's like, it's not free. This is stuff like, this is gonna be like stuff that I haven't put out yet, and then just fucking grind it out from there, I think.
I feel like on one of those kind of Patreons, it'd be nice to have a store that like you can like, because you're going to be making some cool stuff one month, and then
I'm going to need a store.
Next month you might like, where's that going to go? Like, how are people going to get it, right? And you don't want to just necessarily add it to your welcome package. I mean, I think it is a good idea to upgrade your welcome package over time.
I'm not gonna, over time, but I'm not gonna archive it in the welcome package. That's retarded.
Yeah, exactly. So how are people going to get it?
I'm just going to have to make a store page. Simple as that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the next thing to do, and also utilizing this system where it's like the first 100. You know what I mean? I think that'll be really good.
Yeah.
That's about
it. I love
it.
that first 100. Yeah, that's great.
Do you? Well, the thing is, like this guy's offering $10 a month, and that's pretty cheap, I think. But
for the amount of models it is, you think?
well, not just that, but like the quality of models are super,
Yeah.
super good, you know? And
Yeah.
like that's what Duncan Shadow releases. Like he fixed it up. He does $1, $10, and then 40 for the merchant tier.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They're pretty darn good.
How about you? Oh man, we got like 5 minutes here, and then you gotta fucking bail.
Yeah, I gotta bounce. But
How about you, man? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about it. I like how simple those guys, their campaigns are, or their Patreon pages are.
Yeah.
And well, I guess I could show you what I was working on because it does sort of explain what I was after. I've been meaning. Yeah, I should. Let me show this before I go.
Oh, I'm gonna be shooting video this Sunday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. Oh, you're going over to Kevin's, eh?
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. All right. So here's what I had.
Oh my God.
I'm by no means like fixed on this, but
that plus sign sucks. You should change that plus sign.
Okay. Well,
it's not centered either. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I put it here, this gets in the way of the bright space. But yeah, I can. There's a lot I still need to do, to be honest. So feedback is welcome. But here, like, so
that's
I've
awesome.
Split it up quite a bit differently.
You're doing cards too? Oh my God. I forgot you were doing cards.
Yeah. So tier 1 is the print. So once a month you get one print. That's it. You just get one. So I think my cost. I don't know if I'll charge $10. I think I'll charge less. I was thinking around.
I was thinking about this a little while ago. So get this. All right. So I think you should have. So you had you were talking about 4 tiers or 3 tiers, right? Where it was
you get tier 1 is the print. Tier 2 is the accoutrement, and then tier 3 is everything all together in a big package.
All together. Okay.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. I'm not set on it. It's just where my brain went first.
No. That's what I was going to suggest. That's the best. That's the best solution, because you want people to do the bigger package for more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And I undercut this one, right? Like maybe this one comes out to be like $8 or something, and then I have a $7 version of it. I don't know. I have no idea what to charge for this because I haven't seen a Kickstarter that mixes this stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's a different. I can't just totally ape Duncan Shadow, right? But
ape Duncan Shadow.
Yeah.
So first tier is just the model.
Yeah.
Second tier is it's just the 4K illustration and then the cards and the document.
Yeah. So you get the image that's high res, wallpaper sized, and then you get the these are gameplay type stuff. So everything here is gonna be gameplay related. And I thought about maybe even splitting these two up because they're maybe there's people that want this and not that or something like that. But I just still figuring it out, and I'm not sure if that's the way to go. But right now, as this image is, it's these are all kind of just in one tier, the tier 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how much are you charging then?
My initial thought was something like $3 for one print for the print, maybe another $3 for this. Yeah, I don't know. My time investment is probably, I would say 75% of my time goes into the print, and then maybe 20% into this, and then maybe 5% into this. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's 70, 20, 10 or something like that. But I could just price it that way too. What takes the most time, and then just break down whatever my goal is from there.
How about this? How How about documentation and cards? You do $3. Documentation and cards, $3, and then if you want to add the model, add 5. No, hang on. I'm just trying to think of value. Like if I was someone wanting, well, I was looking at a deal or looking at this, to buy or whatnot. Like
I hear you, because like people are selling like 6 to 8 models a month for $10, right? That's kind of pretty standard.
Yeah.
But I really want to focus on one character in a Patreon. So I mean, maybe that means I have to charge less to do that. But
no, I don't think so.
Like my question is, does this stuff that I think some people will be interested in, does it add up to that extra? Like, does this have as much weight as like a few other models might? And I don't know. I think for some people it would, but I'm sure that there are people who are just interested in I just want STLs, and I'm not interested in all that other stuff. Because some people aren't playing RPGs.
You could do 3 and 3, and then the bulk of it you do 5, and the person saves $1.
Yeah. Yeah. So first 100, you get everything for $5, kind of thing.
No, I would put that for your basic tier.
Okay. So you're thinking like, yeah. Then what do you do the first 100 at?
First 100, I would put only for the STL model, and then you would put that for $2.
Yeah.
Right. And then maybe you could do another tier for the first 100 for just the documentation for $2 as well. So right there you have 200 right there if you wanted to.
What I was worried about having 2 tiers and then each of them with like a undercutting tier, it's like then now you got 6 tiers, Yeah. It's like, all right.
To be honest, the thing is like your numbers are already so low, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't even have a first 100. You could, but you would probably have to charge more on top of that. You know what I mean?
It's true. Like a dollar off of $3 is a lot more than $1, like percentage wise, than 1 out of 10. So it's like,
actually, what you said before actually probably makes more sense. Where first 100 is $5, and then it's just regular 6. You could do that instead.
Yeah. $5 seems like a nice number. I fucking don't know, man. But yeah, I don't know. This is what I'd like to do though. 3 cards, and I would even be down that like if you go. I was thinking if you buy tier 3, I'll throw in an extra card. Like I'll make a bonus card for the tier 3, so that if you're really into that stuff.
Little critique on your cards. I would say round out the corners.
Round out. Oh, the edges here.
Yeah, in the black, round it out.
Yeah.
Make it more look like a Magic the Gathering card or like a Pokemon card. You know what I mean? Or a playing card. There, all the edges are rounded out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what? I think you're undervaluing yourself. I think you can sell this whole set for $7.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Oh, I could do like I guess $3.50 a piece. Yeah, there's like dollars and cents.
Or if you want to be more like, hey, you can only get this if you get the bundle, right? So you could just have 2 tiers where it's like one is just STL and the other one is STL plus all the goodies. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So one is just like just the model, and then $7 one is the cool picture and the documentation, and then the 3 cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, you could say, like you said before, you're like, oh, this takes me 5% of the time, and this takes me 10%, and like, and what were you giving me again? Like the numbers again?
I feel like all this stuff is like
Because like
maybe.
the ST model, the model it takes the most time, right?
Yeah, for sure it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that model, you make the illustration, right?
Yeah.
And then from that, you do the cards, and then you do the documentation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. But in the card, and I see in the cards, you just like took a screenshot of the one scepter thing.
Yeah. This actually, I just threw that together. I don't think I would just crop this. I would actually I would definitely use the art, but.
No, you should. It'll save on time.
Yeah, for sure.
But you will be making other stuff where it's more unique, and you won't be using that as well, right?
Yeah, I have.
But this is the thing. This is the thing,
though. A
few
common backgrounds for these cards, so that I can have an item in front of that.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. People they don't really see that, where like the percentage of your time is and stuff like that. But also, you're not just selling something hourly. You're selling something from all your experience and all your concepting and years of like studying, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this has a lot more value than you think it does, I think, anyways. So that's why I'm saying you should sell it for fucking $7 seems pretty reasonable. I bet you could get away with $8 as well for the whole bundle.
I think what's happening is like I don't know what to value it at, so I default to that sort of like artist,
modest.
I don't know what my worth isn't worth that much, it's like you always undervalue yourself.
Yeah.
And you can always change your Patreon too. Like we've learned that from
Duncan Shadow. He changed it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All sorts of people have changed their Patreons around the world.
For sure.
Doing stuff. But also, like, are you going to have a thing where it's like, if I get this many patrons, are you going to be like, I'm going to offer 2 characters? You know what I mean? Like, how many? You got to do the math on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To do two in a month would be almost full time, I would say.
Okay, so that means the money has to be good enough to the point where like you would have to do this, like you would have to get that, like this amount of money, calculate it in patrons, I would say, instead.
Yeah.
But
I think I would need like 1,500 patrons, something like that.
1,500 patrons. Okay. Well, like I said, you got to do the math. But okay, we're going past time. You got to bring.
I am way past time.
Yeah, bring Sam to the hospital. But anyways, yeah, you're undercutting yourself. I really think about 7 or 8 for the bundle. You know what I mean?
She didn't cut her arm off or anything, so
I hope not.
But
yeah, I think about more $7 or $8 for the whole bundle, and just the STL file. Like who knows?
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you could sell the idea where it's like these are like very like I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Something to think about. Okay, thanks for having a look.
Do the math. Do the math.
Will do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna shut it down real quick. Oh shit! I gotta get my notes. All right. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Playing the Artist. If you want to help out the show, you can. There's the ambulance for Sam right now. If you want to help out the show, you can follow us here on the podcast on YouTube by either subscribing, leaving a like, and hitting the bell for a reminder when we go live or when we put up an episode. We're on at 7:00 on Tuesday, every Tuesday, except next Tuesday because Alex is going to be in Hawaii. We still need to figure out that time difference. And
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Don't worry. To the one person who maybe watches this,
there'll be an episode.
It will be there. Tuesday. It will be there.
Yeah, not like last week.
Exactly. Just catch the replay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Alex, are we doing plugs, or are we just gonna fuck it?
You can skip my plugs today. It's in the description. It's the same every week. All
right. It's in my plugs are in my description too. Follow me on Instagram and all that fun stuff. Okay. Go take care, Sam. Bye bye.
All right. Thanks, mate. Later.
Bye.